Calling all podcast fans, calling all Dick Tracy fans. Stand by, Source Not Found is on the air. The makers of Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, the two tempting, delicious, and nourishing cereals that are shot from guns, now bring you another thrilling Source Not Found broadcast. Hear the big guns? That's the way they sound when puffed wheat and puffed rice are shot from guns in the Quaker plant. Remember that sound the next time you sit down to a big dish of crisp, crunchy puffed wheat or puffed rice for breakfast. You see, when the nourishing grains of wheat and rice are shot from the big guns, they're actually exploded to 8 times their normal size. Each tiny, hard-to-digest food cell is unlocked, and that's why Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice are so specially easy to digest and get you their trigger-fast food energy so quickly and easily. And remember, Source Patrol members, if you want to be strong, healthy, and alert like Dick Tracy is, you need lots of that same kind of food energy. So join the thousands of puffed wheat and puffed rice breakfast fans who enjoy puffed wheat one day and puffed rice the next. And tell Mother about those 2 swell flavors and ask her to get some Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice at the grocer for you. And be sure to have a pencil and paper ready for a secret code message from Dick Tracy. Speaking of, today's episode of Source Not Found, a radio broadcast about the worst versions of your favorite things. Every other week we explore an IP, franchise, or fandom by way of its sequels, spin-offs, and side projects. Basically anything but the source material. I'm Brandon June, and we are for the people. And if you ain't for the people, you can't buy the people. Lincoln.
And I'm Bo Woodall, and I am fedoras and Tommy guns everywhere.
Hell yeah, you are.
God damn it, dude, you fucking killed me with that. So it's Brandon's birthday month.
You got a hankering for some?
Dude, I'm craving some puffed wheat right now. Craving some puffed wheat. But it is your birthday month, and we decided instead of doing one of your favorite things like we've done in the past, to go back a ways and do something that's the opposite of a phobia-goria. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're doing, like, Nostalgia Fest 2026 by way of Brandon June.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite childhood movies. And I guess still favorite movies. Like, in the upper tier of favorite comic book movies, it's top 5 for me. This was a formative film.
Huh. I get it. I do get it. I don't necessarily agree, but I 100% understand.
I didn't expect you or maybe anyone else to, but yeah, like this original Batman Returns, The Rocketeer, which is
coming up.
We're doing soon.
Coming up soon.
Yep.
So we're covering Dick Tracy, obviously. Obviously.
The 1990. Do I have that right? 1990 Warren Beatty
film? You are
film?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want, before we get in, do you want to go ahead and knock out the numbers now so we can just jump into how you feel about this whole thing?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. I pulled everything. Dick Tracy, June 15th, a summer blockbuster, 1990. The budget was $47 million, which at the time was moderate. Like, this was not under budgeted. This was not super crazy budget. This wasn't going to be the next big film, right? Like, they weren't expecting to spin this off into a giant universe like we do with Marvel and DC shit now. Opening weekend, $23 million. Gross US Canada, 104. Gross worldwide, 163. So it did not do bad. The fact that there wasn't a sequel is honestly a little surprising.
Yeah.
Like, it damn near tripled its money.
Well, we have a couple sequels. Warren Beatty coming back in character for his interview with Leonard Maltin, zooming in about 3 years ago to do it once again.
Yeah. And we're going to be talking about that a lot later because it is some fascinating shit. Box office weekend that weekend, Dick Tracy was number 1 with its its 23 million. Number 2, 1 week old, Another 48 Hours with, I believe, Wesley Snipes. Is that right? Okay. Number 3, its second week on, Total Recall Number 4, and this one kind of hurts me because I think I liked this movie better than Dick Tracy. Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then lastly, at number 5, it's its 4th week on the charts, Back to the Future Part 3. This is a fucking killer box office weekend.
I was going to say, goddamn, I don't know what I'm going to see. I'm going to the movies 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I would have seen Dick Tracy, Total Recall, Gremlins, and Back to the Future. Like,
I would not have been allowed to see Total Recall. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have seen any of these movies. I was too young at that age. But yeah, you're going to see Total Recall, right?
Total Recall was the first rated R film that I ever saw.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's a good
Starship
first
Troopers
one.
was the first rated R film I saw in theaters, but Total Recall was
That's
the first
one you
rated
saw
R
with your
film.
granddad, right?
Yes, it was. Thank you. But Total Recall was we had it on VHS, and my dad kept it in like a separate cabinet with other like rated R movies that I don't think I was supposed to know existed. And by the time I was like 8,
really?
I got in there and I was like, Total Recall, and it has like Mars and space and guns and Arnold Schwarzenegger looking like he's being like, his brain's being probed and he's in pain. And I was like, well, fuck, I gotta watch this. And then there were 3 boobs, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
this movie's a classic.
Yep. That's why it's on the special shelf. Like, you get the R movies over here where it's like, oh yeah, there's some violence and maybe a few swears, and then you got the boob shelf.
You got boob shelf. Yep.
The nudity shelf. Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me at all if my dad had a separate boob shelf.
I think I saw like bits of a few R movies. I remember being allowed to watch Tombstone at a young age because my dad loved
that would have
westerns
changed me irrevocably as a child.
Yeah.
That would have fucked me
So
up
good.
hard.
God, what a film. Yeah, and that one's pretty tame, but my memory of the first R movie I was allowed to watch with my parents knowing it was R, but I was begging them and they like vetted it first, was Terminator 2.
Ooh, that's good.
Which is hyper violent, but there's no sex in it. So I could watch Terminator 2, but I could not watch
honestly,
Terminator 1.
I would rather, I don't know. I am not a parent, obviously. At a developmental age, would you rather your child see natural form of the female anatomy, or would you rather them possibly become a nihilist who is like, oh my God, the world's going to be taken over by robots. What's the point? Like,
the latter, because I'm just preparing them for this timeline.
Yeah, I was going to say the dystopian future we currently live in. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, the movies though.
Anyway,
those
Dick
are good
Tracy
movies.
though.
Yeah,
There are no
Dick
robots
Tracy,
in this
the
fucking
Gremlins.
movie.
Gremlins too. What a treat. Can you imagine? I never saw that in the theater. When they do the bit where like they start fucking with they're making shadow puppets.
Yeah, so good.
In front of the projector, and then Hulk Hogan stands up and like starts yelling.
Yeah.
About causing a ruckus during the movie. It's like, if you get to see that in the movie,
God, it'd be
so
so good.
Right? Yeah, good movies. I can't, given those options, I might not be going to Dick Tracy in the theater. No, I mean, I just got to go to the movies a lot. That's the only thing.
I mean,
that's the only answer.
I would probably have gone to see Back to the Future Part 3.
That's going to lose out to the others. I do. It's a great movie, but
but I mean, it's like maybe my favorite, maybe this is a wild take, maybe my favorite trilogy of all time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that's your favorite part of the trilogy.
No,
no.
No.
That would be a wild take.
No. But I have so many images from Back to the Future Part 3 that are indelibly ingrained into my brain, where there are times I can close my eyes and watch the bartender pour the wake-up juice for Doc Brown. Like, that's just who I am.
I know that part of the brain because that's where Al Pacino lives when he says, walnuts. A lot of people like walnuts. Good for the liver.
Man,
that lives rent-free.
This whole movie should live rent-free. Like, there are so many...
It does.
Flat Top lives rent-free in my head.
Oh my God. William Forsythe? Fucking amazing.
Brilliant performance. The fucking
Yeah.
cast of this movie in general surprised the hell out of me.
Insane.
And Mandy Patinkin as a goddamn piano player. Mandy fucking Patinkin. Inigo Montoya. Fuck me, man.
Kathy Bates is the stenographer in the interrogation, just for that like one great little cameo. Like her reaction to trying to take down Mumbles'
Catherine O'Hara is basically an extra.
It's insane. Do you have a cast list? You do numbers, but how about some letters? How about some words?
I mean, I have a cast list. Like, how deep do you want me to go?
I mean, just maybe give the listeners, if you all haven't seen Dick Tracy, like listen to this lineup.
All right, so we've got Warren
nuts.
Beatty, obviously, both directed and starring in this film. First movie he starred in and directed that he did not write. I thought that was kind of cool.
Huh.
Little trivia corner teaser, babies.
Yeah.
Charlie Korsmo as the kid who we would all recognize from Can't Hardly Wait.
If you grew up in the 90s, you know this kid from like
everything.
I think if I think of a 90s movie kid,
it's him.
Maybe just because of Hook.
Yeah, he is Baby Pan.
Yeah. And what about Bob, actually? Favorite of mine.
Yeah, another good one.
Well.
We've got, we'll start some lesser known, Jim Wilkie and Neil Summers, but then we go into like Chuck Hicks, William Forsythe, Glenn Headley, Seymour Cassell, James Keane, Charles Durning. Like, we're talking some older, like, brilliant actors. And then all of a sudden, it gets a little weird with Madonna, Mandy Patinkin, Paul Sorvino, Al Pacino, James Tolkien, who is also in Back to the Future Part 3, in case you were curious, as the principal. Dustin Hoffman, Kathy Bates, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Criminally underused in this movie, but so fun to see him.
A lot of them are they're all mostly criminally used. A lot of the big names are like gangsters and covered in many layers of often nightmarish prosthetics and makeup.
And I've got a few more for us. After Dick Van Dyke, Colm Meaney from Con Air, one of my personal favorites. Catherine O'Hara, Henry Silva, James Caan, first time teaming up again with Al Pacino since Godfather?
I was gonna say that's one of my favorite moments is like having the two of them across the table from one another during like the mob negotiations. Like that's a very fun meetup.
Frank Campanella from Overboard, Pretty Woman, Heaven Can't Wait, Raising Helen. Like the dude's been in fucking everything. That's 20 names I just read in 1990.
That's a lot. It's a lot. And a lot of them show up for like 30 seconds.
For, again, 47 million.
Yeah.
This movie has maybe the most stacked cast of anything we've seen and is half of the cost, if you include inflation, compared to anything else we've seen. Like, it is wild that they were able to make this film and make it as well as they did for how much they had.
It's wild to me, too, to have this much investment and this much, like, Hollywood power and presence in the film and behind it, like, pushing it, you know, all centered around Warren Beatty and his love for this character. And it is a superbly crafted and, like, visually dynamic and very memorable film. And it's just like this one and done. Like, it had no cultural staying power. I think you're also missing another point along with all the things it has, and it's also auditorially wonderful. Oh man. You have Danny Elfman and Madonna teaming up together to fucking make a soundtrack and make a score. Like, it's, and all those Stephen Sondheim songs, like, oh my god. And all the Stephen Sondheim. God, it's so good. Yeah, I mean, the only like slight criticism is like I love Danny Elfman. I love the score of this movie. But sometimes I'm watching it like, man, yeah, you obviously just did Batman. And you had some...
you mean maybe
leftovers.
the introductory scene where it is basically just the Batman theme and it goes
That's
on
what I was saying.
a detective's badge instead of a bat?
It's so similar. And it kind of gives the movie a little bit of an edge, which is nice. Like, that's what's fascinating about this. I think that's what...
Buddy.
There was so much about this that captured my attention as a child. I saw it when I was really young. And it is like you are in this lush comic book world of just vibrant primary colors, but there's a darkness there. Like it's scary. I remember the first time in like the first initial scene when the kid like stumbles in on all of the gangsters playing poker in that warehouse, and like you see the first images of them, and it's fucking scary.
Dude, not
monsters.
just that. This movie, as a comic book movie, has the highest body count that I can remember outside of Infinity War. And that's only because he snaps his fingers and kills, 4 billion people or whatever. Like, this
That's
has
crazy.
57 people die in this goddamn movie, man. Like,
Oh, you counted? You got a count on it?
57 people get gunned down or concreted or whatever.
That's the thing.
This
like,
movie
there's so
is-
many scenes of, yeah,
It's so dark.
yeah. There's scenes of Dick Tracy just like walking down the street, like in a montage, just laying down Tommy gun fire.
Yeah.
There's cars exploding, like being riddled with bullet holes, and then some really horrifying ways of you're watching a man get chained up and put in a crate and covered in wet concrete and then enclosed in it and then dropped down into the waters of like the harbor. Holy shit. James Caan gets into his car and it explodes as he turns the key in the ignition.
I am not surprised that Disney looked at this movie and said, no, we're good. No, you guys can go to Touchstone or whatever and just live there because you're not where we live.
I think that's also why, as a kid, I just couldn't get enough of it, because I am able to access a very adult world of gangsters and violence and extortion, criminality, gambling, drinking, smoking, femme fatale, Madonna slinking out in a dark apartment.
Dude, she is personified liquid sex in this movie. And I've never been like I don't think I've ever really been attracted to Madonna. I've never like seen her as a like aesthetic ideal of the feminine body or anything like that.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
But she was just incredible as a femme fatale. Every scene that she was tempting Warren Beatty, I was wondering how I would not be tempted by the same thing. Like, she was incredible.
We immediately like homed in on all of the aesthetic aspects and sound and all that, and like little minutia that really spoke to us. But for those who haven't seen Dick Tracy, like, what is this?
What is this movie about?
You're pretty good at this game. You want to take it, or
I can
are you
try.
gonna leave it to me?
I would love if this is one of your favorite movies. I think it's only right that you do it. I'm not gonna
it's
ask
not
you
very
to.
complicated.
I'm not gonna ask you to summarize Surf Ninjas when we end up covering Surf Ninjas. You know.
I'm notoriously bad at synopses, but I think I can handle this one. This is a nice one for me to actually take control of, because you got Dick Tracy, officer of the law, and we've got his relationship with Tess Trueheart, his longtime girlfriend, and there's some kind of tension there. Like, is he going to pop the question? Well, he's so devoted to his work, and his work is wrangling up all the gangsters in town. And one of those gangsters lips Paul Sorvino in enormous prosthetics, which the other thing that lives rent-free in my head is him sucking down
eating
those
those
fucking
oysters? Yeah.
Oh my God. As soon as that scene started playing, like, yeah, I've not forgotten the look and sound of this.
I had a visceral reaction to it. And it actually, like, tomorrow night, I'm going to dinner with some work friends and my wife. They have delicious oysters flown into this restaurant, and I was going to get them. And now there's a good chance I won't.
I can see why.
Because of lips.
Yeah. The Madonna reaction to that is very good, too. Like, sitting there looking disgusted. Mind if I leave? Why? I get sick when you eat.
You didn't used to. You didn't used to be a Zeppelin? I think she calls him a Zeppelin.
Yeah. But yeah, he gets bumped off, and Al Pacino's big boy Caprice swoops in and starts trying to take control of the city and kind of combine forces of all these various mob figures and like wrangle them all up into one overall extortion racket. And Dick Tracy's trying to bring him down. And they try to bribe him. They try to get rid of Dick Tracy in various ways without killing him, because the murder would lead right back to Big Boy. And eventually they settle on framing him for Moida with the help of a strange, enigmatic figure called No Face.
Or the Blank.
It turns out to be Breathless Mahoney, Madonna in disguise. What a twist. But it's basically you're watching Dick Tracy fight the bad guys and save the day and get the girl. And along the way, mentor and raise this kid, this random kid that's living out on the streets called Kid, who is very sweet.
Yeah. Played by Charlie Korsmo, who is just wonderful.
I think that's maybe the strength of the film to me. Like, a lot of the negativity I've seen in like reviews of this film and takes on this film is like everything's so one-dimensional. Warren Beatty's so stoic, he doesn't emote. The plot is so standard, it's so rote. Like, yeah, it's harkening back to the source material of these comic strip characters and these like kind of archetypal figures and tropes, which again, as a kid, that's why it was so cool to see it, because I'm getting introduced to the idea of a femme fatale in a family movie.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not dumbed down for children. Like, it's the thing, minus some maybe more graphic elements, but it's mostly there. And I think that's the movie's strength. Like, it knows what it's in love with. Like, Warren Beatty loves this character. I think that's what's so compelling about this film to me. Like, at every moment, I feel the love for this world and source material on the screen. But do you disagree? Because you have a look.
I do have a look. So I want to start with the things that I loved about this, because I know that you just love this.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
let me agree with you on 4 or 5 points, and then let me give you the thing that really knocked me the fucking skew. Aesthetically, this movie is fucking perfect. It's beautiful. Everything about it is stunning. Every scene has bright colors and contrasts, and everything directs your eye to where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is not a moment in this movie that feels muted or bland or rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the performances in this movie are so full of range. Like, I mean, you have Pacino, like, Dustin Hoffman playing Mumbles.
Yeah.
Is incredible. William Forsythe as Flat Top. Incredible performance. Al Pacino, again, chewing every bit of scenery he can possibly get his teeth on. Hedley doing all of the Tess True Heart stuff, doing an incredible job. Charlie Korsmo, incredible. This movie is even plotted well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, looking at it, taking a step back, the steps work. Like, yeah, it's a little predictable, but it's almost more enjoyable because of that. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't want a quote unquote family comic book movie to end with a twist where Dick Tracy is the villain. Like, That's not going to be fun for me.
No.
You know.
You're right. Mm-hmm,
I had one big concern with this movie, and it only concerns one aspect of the entire experience, and that is
okay.
Warren Beatty worked so hard to get the rights to this character, to get the ability to play the character, to get the ability to direct the character, and he did not emote a single time. He was basically comic book stills of Dick Tracy. Like, man, he has different emotions on his face between the panels. He does. Like, the only time you see him emote, to me at least, is the very end. And maybe that's supposed to be character growth.
Yeah.
But even when he's in mortal peril, or when he's rescuing a dude from liquid concrete and he's like wiping the concrete out of his eyes, at no point does his mouth move from a direct straight line across his face. Like, he has a couple of good one-liners, but he never seems even amused by his own one-liners. Like, when he tells the reporter to shave off his silly mustache, I almost laughed out loud till I saw the look on Dick Tracy's face, and that's just apparently how he talks to people. Like, I thought he was joking with the dude because these are, you know, press reporters who talk to him almost every day, and I thought he was having a joke with the guy, but he walked by and he's just completely solemn, and I was like, oh no, he's an asshole. Oh,
he is. Yeah.
And I don't always want my hero to always be an asshole. And he treats Tess like garbage.
He does. Yeah. He really does.
But the fact that I can walk away from this movie and be like, holy shit, this may be one of my favorite comic book movies I've ever seen, despite the fact that I don't like the hero.
Yeah.
Is a testament to his direction and the art style and the sound design and all of the other actors involved. He is my only complaint about this movie.
And that's all fair. See, that's the thing about these criticisms. Like, I get it. Like, this is all true. Now, it's not an issue for me because I guess for me, well, first of all, okay, to set this up, like, fuck these cops. Like, he's in so much of this movie, he represents like worst aspects of law enforcement. Like, at one point, they bring in the suspects.
Oh my God, yeah.
They ask for their phone call, and he rips the cord out of the phone and throws the phone at the suspect. Make a note, Pat. They waive their right to a phone call. Like, this is fucking police brutality. Like, this.
What really hurt me watching it was it wasn't surprising.
No.
I can buy that happening. 100%.
It's harkening back to this era where, like, you can see audiences like, you know, like fist pumping, like, yeah, show them, copper. Like, don't take any guff from these bad guys, you know? And so, like, real world aside, kind of like what I was talking about with spy fiction, let's step out of our reality into the reality of the film and just live in this world. So in this world, Dick Tracy is this beacon of justice. He is an officer of law enforcement. And so in that regard, like, having him as almost larger than life, he's not a complex human. He is a symbol of justice.
See, the way I had to embrace it, and maybe this is how you have to, is it's not that he's an object of law enforcement. He's also a vigilante when he has to be.
Yeah, that's true. That's the thing. Like, it presents this idea, but then complicates it within the film.
It's almost like he's the exact inverse of Batman. Where, like, Batman will on occasion play with the law, and then more often than not be a vigilante for justice, where Warren Beatty's Dick Tracy, and possibly Dick Tracy in general, will more than often play with the law and be a part of their system, but on occasion he has to go out and do his own thing.
Yeah. But even then, within the film, they usually like justify it like, well, that DA is corrupt. And the reason he's shutting down the investigation is because he's on the take. And so Dick Tracy has to, even when he's been suspended, he has to go out there and do like reconnaissance work that has not been sanctioned because he's the only one in the department who's willing to stand up for, again, like law and justice.
The fact that the last scene has like spoilers, has his former two partners ish subordinates. I don't know how they work. Picking him up from jail and saying, hey, we've got 8 hours. Let's see if we can't solve this thing. And then by the time this scene starts to close, he is directing the entirety of the police force and telling them what to do, despite the fact that he is someone who has been broken out of jail. He is literally a fugitive from law. And he is like, all right, men, get all your Tommy guns. It's time to take this person down. And it's like, bro, you should be in a car right now going toward a cell.
It's goofy. And you know what? At the end of the day, I don't care. I don't know. Like, I get it. I understand it. I can't argue it. But for me, having him as this like flat kind of stoic center of the film that everything else pivots around, and because everything else is so larger than life, and well, in terms of the villains, and then even the other heroes of the film in the peripheral, like Tess and the kid, are so sweet and compelling
and interesting,
and interesting, and there's a depth there, and there's a growth there that it lets them shine. And I'm okay, like him kind of grounding the film in his, again, general lack of emoting. I do want to say though, there are some subtleties of his performance that I just want to highlight.
Before you jump into these, can I have one? Can I offer one note that it's something I was thinking the entire time through this movie? If at any moment, like maybe it's when he takes off his yellow coat and his yellow hat, and he suddenly became more human, this movie would have had me lock, stock, and barrel. Like I would have been it would be top 3 of my comic book movies that I've ever seen. All I needed was just a few moments of and he gives us that with Tess once, kind of, because he can't stumble up the courage to propose to her, which, come on, man. Come on. I saw you wipe concrete out of your eyes, bro. But if he would have, I don't know, maybe if he would have tucked in the kid, like he saw the kid in his bed at one point, maybe if he would have like walked in and just like tucked him in a little bit and like realized the fact that he is taking care of something, I could have bought into this character who is stoic when he puts on his armor and is a human when he takes it off. I would have fucking loved that.
To that point, I think maybe his most human moment is like them at the diner. I think the very final diner scene when he is not in his trademark bright yellow coat. Yeah. So again, more human. He's in just a normal ass kind of suit. And so like visually as well, it's communicating like, now you're not looking at Dick Tracy, larger than life detective. You are looking at Dick Tracy, the man. And he's trying to propose in the weirdest way possible. Don't you hate living alone? You know, we live alone, and maybe we shouldn't.
I couldn't tell if he was trying to propose or if he was just asking her to move in with him. But then I realized that time, that probably wasn't completely cool. It took me 15 minutes after the movie was over where I was like, he wasn't just asking her to cohabitate. because that was
It
probably
does feel
frowned
like
upon.
that, though, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I think it's time to combine. It feels like so inconsequential. Like, I think it's time we finally combine our CD collections, in our books onto the one shelf. But he's like trying to get it out, but he's like halfway bringing a spoonful of chili to his mouth and kind of like stammering slightly. It's so understated, though. And again, he's trying to maintain that, like, at the end of the day, even in these human moments, he's like so stoic.
Yeah.
That he's not going to oversell it or overact it. But because it's so subtle, and because you don't really have the moments that you're talking about that would really help, like just some random things, like a little bit more sweetness towards the kid, or not being such a dickhead. Like, he comes in this diner every day, and every day he's just like, Mike, what'd you put in this chili? Old tires? Like, what a fucking asshole.
If he would have held Tess's hand across the table one time,
yeah,
it would have changed my opinion of him as a character by a good 30%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get what he's going for. It's too held back, where we just don't have enough there. So, fair criticism. But within that, like, if we had that, some of these other moments would hit so much harder. So when he goes to Breathless Mahoney's apartment and she slinks out, it's dark, she's holding that glass of alcohol and she's seducing him, or attempting to, and he's just like standing there like stock still, rigid, awkwardly.
Hard.
I mean, yeah. Well, I'm getting to that point. Yes, you can tell. He asks, whose side are you on? The side I'm always on. Mine. No grief for lips. I'm wearing black underwear, which fucking awesome line.
That's such a good line. I laughed out loud, and all of a sudden, I didn't care what happened. I wanted Breathless Mahoney to win. I was just like, that is the best fucking line in a movie I may have ever heard.
And she delivers it so well. Like, Madonna is very good in this. When she delivers that line, I'm wearing black underwear, you get back to his face, and it's like the subtlest, most slightest little twitch in like the right side of his mouth. Like, you almost see him crack, but he keeps it together. He's just like unblinking, just looking at her like deer in headlights. And you see like the temptation and the struggle to maintain the facade. It's legal for me to take you down to the station and sweat it out of you under the lights. I sweat a lot better in the dark. And then he just starts blinking.
Yeah.
Like, wildly. And like, just that whole scene is so fucking good. And like the gradual like twitch and then just blink, blink, blink. But he never really breaks. Like, he breaks in a Dick Tracy way. And like that kind of adherence to whether or not the character is not compelling for certain viewers, like, he knows what he's trying to do and he's sticking to that plan. And I gotta admire it.
I could watch an entire 100 and, I don't know, 25 minutes of Madonna attempting to seduce Warren Beatty as these two characters.
Yeah.
And love it. Because every time she tried to fuck with him, it was the most fun I had in this movie, because it was obvious that him as an actor was not uncomfortable because they were dating at the time. But he was such a good actor that he was portraying his character as so uncomfortable. Like,
yeah.
Ooh, just at one point she said, what is it going to take for you to arrest me? And he said, dressing like that's a good start. And I was like, you know what? They're just cute, I think.
Yeah.
They may just be cute together.
His resurgence, or like his readoption, his use of this character, with like just random interview and Zoom call over the years to just like maintain the rights. Like, couldn't you give us that? Just like zoom in with Madonna next time.
But not the Madonna from Die Another Day. We don't need that.
No. We don't. I mean, it would be interesting to see them fencing. That would be interesting. I would watch that.
Oh my God. Do you think Dick Tracy can fence?
No,
he is a ham-fisted man.
Like, certain martial arts, they kind of like communicate this idea of like being water, just like going with the flow, and
He
being
is-
open to like energies, and he is fucking granite.
He is all martial, no art. He just like
Yeah.
lifts up a fist and crashes down upon people, just over and
Yeah,
over
he's
again,
not the
and
unstoppable
that's
force.
it.
He's the immovable object. He just fucking stands there planted
Yeah,
and just starts blinking.
but
when
every
he's
time
hot
he
and
swings a
bothered.
punch, it's like so wildly telegraphed that it's coming from all the way outside that he brings it in, and he's just like clocking people in the face. It's like someone has
Yeah.
taken an action figure and grabbed their torso and spun it between their hands, and that's his arms, just like whap, 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 whap. And that's how he fights this entire movie.
Yeah, I think there's like just ridiculous, over the top comic book silliness throughout this.
Something I didn't mention that I really feel like I should, because I mentioned how aesthetically pleasing it is, but every backdrop and background to this movie, I'm pretty sure is hand painted,
Yeah.
and it looks glorious.
It's so great. And they don't try
It's
to
pulled
like,
out of a page. Like, it is pulled directly out of a page.
the movie embraces like artifice in a way that is just like so, like it's texturally joyful. Like they know they're standing in front of like just a matte painting backdrop and like a set
Yeah.
with like a little model train. And it's beautiful, it's gorgeous to behold. It's elaborate, it's vibrant, but it knows that it doesn't read as a real cityscape.
Can you imagine?
And you don't care because the reality of the film is real. It's tangible.
Can you imagine a director trying to do that now? With live action actors.
I guess I can, but I think it would be like a little too self-aware of like what it's doing. Like we are intentionally creating an artificial environment that
Yeah, that just
mimics the look of like an old style of like painted sets, right? Whereas like this film uses those to try to create a living, breathing world. I don't think it's like being referential or being self-aware about it. Like
I
it
don't
does
think
its
so
best
either.
to communicate a real living world to you, but it also knows that at the end of the day, it's mimicking like comic book art and panels and this kind of world, and so it embraces that.
it just really
doesn't
bums
try to
me
hide
out
it.
that the majority of moviegoers would look at something if we did this now and be like, well, fuck, you could have made it better if it was just CGI. And instead, I'm like, oh my God, this is stunning.
Right.
Like, I don't know who did it, but man alive, this is... Why don't they do this more? It felt like... I know a couple of really bad movies that took this movie to heart, and we may cover one of them in the near future because it does kind of feel like this.
Mm-hmm.
But it really bums me out that the appreciation of, I guess, 2D or flat, beautiful artistry can't be appreciated like on a film, because you can just be like, well, hey, we can straight up just computer generate like an entire cityscape that looks completely three-dimensional, and it'll take no time at all, and we don't have to pay a human being. Like, we can just do that. Like, that just sucks.
I think it's decades old, so it's not a modern film, but the more modern film that, well, I meant, yeah, not
I was
this,
gonna say,
but,
it's this movie is dangerously getting close. Like, it's almost
don't
my
give me the
age.
numbers. I don't want them.
Okay,
I don't
cool.
want the numbers.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, like, I was gonna reference Sin City, but that's also decades old at this point. But
I was gonna reference The
it feels
Spirit.
more modern in execution. Yeah, Spirit is like a less good version of that, I think.
Yeah,
But
that's
like those both
exactly
were trying
right.
to do something. They're more outlandish. Like, I think that's kind of my point. They are so outlandishly doing some of these things where like you have just like monochrome or like silhouette, or I don't know, like more bombastic uses of some of the things that, as wild as it is to say these words right now, this movie does more subtly, at least in terms of like in
Yeah.
regard to Sin City. it's all still within the reality of and the texture of the world. It's not like this one-off, different like aesthetic style of scene or like an interstitial shot of something in silhouette.
To your point, put this movie backdrop to Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin, and please tell me which one you think not only looks more beautiful but also makes you feel more a part of the film.
Yeah, and this movie knows how hot it is. I mean,
it is.
It lingers on, like it uses color from the very first scene. Just the bold
that
red,
bright red,
like hat to radio, and then like you're getting glimpses of Dick Tracy, and there's like that exterior shot of the building, and you're looking at the window at him from outside, and it pans over the city, and just like it is just so well composed at every moment. The use of shadows, like when he's sneaking into the warehouse.
Contrast. The word that I wanted to find
contrast.
For the entire time I was watching this movie is it has such a brilliant use of color contrast in every scene. Like I said, nothing is ever muddled. Everything is bright and distinct.
What's wild to me is like I'm looking at certain shots and like you're playing with like very bold, basic comic strip colors, a lot of primaries. And sometimes you'll have like multiple like just bold red, simplistic, flat colored objects in a shot, and somehow it doesn't become overwhelming in the composition because they would both be the focal point that your eye would be drawn to, but it somehow works compositionally because it's just so well thought out and composed that like everything works of a piece. It's really incredible.
So with that statement, I have a couple of little points I want to bring up. Do you think it's time to go to the corner, or do you want to hold off a little bit?
I'm dreading trivia because I'm very worried that you're going to tell me that Al Pacino wasn't accurately quoting the founding fathers.
I, by choice, did not look it up. Every time he quoted someone, I took a note and I was like, hang on now. Every time. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to look up exactly what the quotes are that he is misquoting. I'm just going to leave it be. Because to me, it'd be really funny if he just like quoted Nietzsche correctly at the end or something like that. And the rest he misquoted.
I looked up the first one. Okay, before we go, I just a nice quick goodbye to Al Pacino, who, like, to just return to our point about Warren Beatty as stoic center. Like, there is a spectrum within this film. Beatty is one end of it. Al Pacino is the other.
The exact opposite.
Holy shit. Like, if you haven't seen it, imagine overacting, like Al Pacino in his overacting arc. And just that
multiply it.
Like just
multiply
blast that, like increase that by 300 decibels.
The amount of ass slaps the man tosses out on a regular basis is crazy.
Yeah. So when he gets released from prison because they don't have any evidence the first time, and he's walking out, and like the reporters all come up to him. And he's talking to the press, and he gets in his car and he says, "Law without orders is as great a danger to the people as order without law. Jefferson." And I heard that and I thought, that doesn't sound like something
right.
Thomas Jefferson said.
No, that's not right.
So I looked it up. There is no known record of Thomas Jefferson having said that. So then I just started collecting all of the things he said. I stopped looking them up. I just assumed. And some of them are so ridiculous, like, "We are for the people. If you ain't for the people, you can't buy the people." Lincoln.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That's why I love with that in the intro. God damn, this is so funny to me. "A man without a plan is not a man." Nietzsche.
Yeah.
And this is maybe my runner-up. "The way I see it, and Plato agrees with me, is that there is what is, and then there is what we would like it to be." Which kind of is Plato, I guess, in
That's
a way.
The thing, like
he
Nietzsche sounds Nietzsche. Like it also sounds Machiavelli. Like,
That,
Part of
the
me
allegory
wonders
of the
if he got
cave.
the
There is
name
what
wrong.
is, and then there is what we would like it to be. God, he's so fucking good. He's so fucking funny.
He's
I love him.
incredible.
Anyway, maybe you got some fun trivia
A corner. Let's go to a corner.
behind his performance.
A little bit, actually, yeah.
Let's go.
I know stuff. Okay, let's start with some of the art stuff because that's where I was. The main colors in the film are the 6 that the original comic strip appeared in. Red, blue, yellow, green, orange, purple. And then, obviously, the black and white. This was one of the last films to be made with paintings as backgrounds. Computer-generated images, CGI, saves a lot of time and money, but the camera must remain still. Warren Beatty warned his camera people not to pan with the cameras or swivel to the left or right because that would make it obvious that the backgrounds were paintings. So they were they were left as static as backgrounds for the most part. This I didn't know, and it makes me kind of happy. This is Disney's first comic book film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
So I don't even remember. What year is The Rocketeer? This probably just came right on the heels of this one.
I'll tell you in 2 weeks, bud.
Yeah, we'll find out. We got some numbers next episode.
Let's see here. Oh, Al Pacino. Let's get into some Al Pacino shit. Al Pacino designed the entirety of Big Boy Caprice's makeup and completely reimagined the character. Initially in the comic books, he's like this big, like kind of morbidly obese character with a very small nose. And Al Pacino was like, let's make him this based on my stature. And he designed the entire thing. The only thing that he left as big were the hands, the nose, and the cheekbones. So he could still be considered a big boy. So, like, every other character is pulled directly from the comic book, like how they look.
Yeah.
You know, prune face, flat top, was small face, tiny face, small face, small face.
I think so.
All of them, like, they had prosthetics made to make them look exactly like they were from the comic books, except for Big Boy Caprice. Al Pacino designed him from the ground up, which is just fucking cool. Like, that's a level of investment that is just really neat. Macaulay Culkin was considered for the role of the kid.
Wow.
But he turned it down so he could do Home Alone, which is just, that's a good choice.
That's a good career choice. Yeah. Although, you know, if he had gone with Dick Tracy and done a couple films, maybe he would have become an accomplished law professor like Charlie Corsbo.
Yeah. He could have been in Can't Hardly Wait.
That's what he did. He left acting for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Can't Hardly Wait was his last movie, and then he went to school for like 8 years and became a JD. Okay, last one before we get into Warren Beatty stuff. Dick Van Dyke only worked on the film for 3 days. He broke his shoulder when he was shooting the scene where his character is murdered by the blank. That take is the one they used for the film. So,
wow.
When the DA is murdered, when he falls back in that like kind of crazy way, he straight up broke his shoulder doing that.
Holy. Suffering for your art, man.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you do what you got to do, man. I've got 3 more, and I'm saving the last one for you.
All right.
When Dick Tracy jumps off the side of the building onto the lamppost, you can see him smack his face into the pole. Like,
okay. Yeah.
It looks like it hurts like a bitch. years later, Warren Beatty was asked if he felt bad for the stunt person or the stunt person who injured himself. And Warren Beatty responded, no, that was me.
Oh, man.
So he jumped on that lamppost and just straight up clocked himself in the face.
Does that help at all? Yeah, he doesn't emote, but he did his own stunts. He did his lamppost
Maybe that's why he
stunts.
didn't emote. He just had like a broken face the whole time.
Yeah, it just hurt. If
He had to
raised
stay
his
still.
eyebrows or smiled, it would, yeah.
This one feels weird because Warren Beatty was 56 when this movie was filmed.
Oh boy.
Madonna and him were dating in real life during the filming.
Mm-hmm.
So he was double her age at least.
Okay.
When he proposed to her and she stalled on the question of marriage, he ended their romance and claimed what he had given her was just a, quote, friendship ring, end quote.
I didn't want to marry you anyway, so there.
Yeah, but we're just really good friends.
Huh.
Buddy.
God, I didn't know how old he was when he filmed this. He looks fucking good. Holy
Maybe he was
shit.
53. I think he was born in 37.
Whatever the case. My God. Warren Beatty's a handsome man.
Yeah.
And maybe that's doing some heavy lifting here when I say, like, his performance works for me. Like, yeah, he keeps it pretty stoic. It's because that stoic face is fucking handsome to look at.
So I'm wrong. He was 63.
63. Wow.
He was born in 1937.
That man is 63?
He was 63 in this movie. Wow.
Even, like, I checked out the Zoom call he did most recently in 2023. So he's what, 90? What did you say? He was 63? So he's like, wait, 90?
Oh shit, he
33.
was 53. He was 53 and she was 32.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, what the hell? Okay, that makes more sense.
So he's in his early 50s and she's in her early 30s.
Maybe neither of us is math boy. There's
But
no math on
again-
this show. We talk narrative and character and colors.
I do math with
Primary
video game
colors.
episodes, people. Video game episodes alone. That is the only time I am math boy.
Simple red, blue, yellow, nothing fancy, you know?
But it's still, he's near his
Mm-hmm.
mid 50s, jumping off and hitting a
I'm saying.
lamppost.
Looks damn good. Yeah. See me doing that now.
Dude,
See me try that right fucking now.
I am 40 and I tried
die.
to walk over a baby gate without opening it and pulled something in my back. So, like, we're looking great over here, gang.
I can get laid up for a week by sneezing in a suboptimal direction.
Yeah. Last one. Warren Beatty personally bought the film and television rights to Dick Tracy for $3 million in 1985, and he has retained them to this day.
From his cold, dead hands.
They will pull the Dick Tracy rights from him. Yes. That's. I
So
mean,
this is why he shows up as the character, you know, every decade or so.
it's
just
supposed to be. There's supposed to be new Dick Tracy content released every. It's either 10 or 12 years, and
Yeah.
so he has done Zoom calls during COVID, and
that in that timeline, he waits to the last fucking minute to show up.
yeah,
and
he
just
does.
phone in this. Did you watch those?
No, I didn't want to. I thought they'd make me sad.
They're tedious. It's like the most recent Zoom one is him in interview, and he's in character as Dick Tracy, and then he's also Warren Beatty is also as himself with two
That
others
sucks.
interviewers, and he's like, maybe next time you play me, you should do this. Like the most kind of like hackneyed, tired sort of like the character criticizing the actor's performance and portrayal of him. And it just goes on for so long. I checked out some of it.
That's one of the
enough.
reasons I didn't check it out is I did enough trivia research where I saw that there were several complaints about working with him as a director.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, some people just wouldn't work with him again, and some people just didn't like the experience. And maybe that's him being intense, or maybe they don't share the same sort of like vision on how things work. Like, I'm not gonna say it's Warren Beatty. I'm not gonna say it's the people that left. But there were enough people that I was like, I don't know if I want to see this kind of like self-masturbatory bullshit kind of happen.
Yeah. Not really worth checking out. It's a bummer because, like, I don't know what you would do with Dick Tracy now. I mean, I love this movie. It's perfect. It's like just this perfect thing. And I don't need any more of it. It wraps up so beautifully. You know, you get this sweet final, like, he tosses Tess the ring. The kid has changed his name to Dick Tracy Jr. They ride off. That Danny Elfman score kicks in, and it's just like, yep, that's a fucking movie. That's a fucking movie.
Yeah.
A beginning, a middle, an end, and I don't need more of it.
We don't need him to be like, we don't need this to be remade. We don't need him to be young and sexy with a young and sexier Tess. Like,
yeah,
if I saw it redone, I'd want, the only thing I can think of it being is I would want to keep the cartoonishness of the villains,
and
then maybe make the rest of the world even more gritty. Like, keep some of those really bright pops of color with characters, but the rest of the world kind of washed out and just dark and grungy. And then have it like that. But even that, I don't think it would be near as enjoyable as what we watched this time.
Hear me out. Dick Tracy, same character, but it's like a Brady Bunch movie situation. And there's like a scene of him going to a rock concert, and he's standing awkwardly, and everyone's like, hey man, are you gonna mosh? And he's like, what is a mosh? And it's funny.
So what you're saying is basically take Dick Tracy and do Kingdom of the Crystal Skull with Dick Tracy, like reintroduce Charlie Korsmo and as Dick Tracy Jr. and let him do his thing, and like Dick Tracy kind of stands on the sideline and then like experiences new things as an old tough as nails detective.
Yes, and then we do that movie, and then that's the lead-in. Post-credit sequence, we have Michael Keaton come in from the multiverse and say, I'm getting a team together, you know? And then we got Michael Keaton Batman, we got Dick Tracy, we got Indiana Jones, we got all the old heads come back for one last. We'll get that 90s Flash, live-action Flash. We'll get the Captain America with the ears on the costume. We'll get him to come in. It'll be great.
No, that
we'll get Nicolas Cage to actually do the Superman that he was going to do.
I love that though. Okay, you have me.
Let's do that though,
dude. You got me. Good job.
No, it's all that to say, like, I don't know what I would want or expect or need from a Dick Tracy in the modern age. I have no idea, but maybe somebody does. That's the thing. Like, someone might have a cool idea, something compelling. More likely, it would be the kind of shit we just described. But the fact that no one's allowed to try is kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Just so he can just show up every decade plus and phone
as
in a
much as
fucking
I don't
Zoom
want to
call.
see Warren Beatty put the hat back on again, I could see a Dick Tracy One Last Job movie. Like,
oh shit.
Like maybe Flat Top actually survived, or like Mumbles is now a gang lord in Chicago, and they pull in Dick Tracy as like an expert sort of crime solver dude. I don't know what the titles are and shit. But like I could see that, and he has to like he contaminates crime scenes like crazy on accident. He's intimidating witnesses and police brutality out the window and all this stuff. And he just has to come to grips with the fact that he is a fossil. And maybe it's time for him to hand his badge over to somebody else.
Yeah, and it's called Dick Tracy Beyond. And the new Dick Tracy has a sleeker, yellower suit, and he can do stuff that the old Dick Tracy can't do. And he's like an older mentor figure.
Yeah,
That's great.
the new Dick Tracy's name is Terry McGinnis.
Yeah. I was looking, like, is there anything in the name Terry McGinnis that kind of sounds like male genitalia that do we do?
Now, my first thought was, does that... my first thought was, would Dick Tracy think that sounds too Irish?
Yeah, we don't want to delve into the police brutality, and aspects of this film that you just sort of like, yeah, you just, okay, we're in the movie and that doesn't matter in this world. We don't want to think about the politics of anybody at all in this world. This movie is fucking white as mayonnaise you spilled on a Coldplay CD. Like it's...
Yep. It's... yeah, it's... Salt is too spicy for this movie.
It's raisins and a carrot salad at a barbecue, sitting out in the sun.
I'm really hoping your next one is a little more uplifting.
Literally, it is. He has a jetpack.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. You've seen The Rocketeer.
I have not,
I'm so excited.
actually.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Get the fuck out. You've never seen The Rocketeer?
I've never seen The Rocketeer.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Holy shit. Well, I hope you liked it more than you liked this one. I mean, you liked this. You
I
just
did
had
like
issues.
this. Like, I would say this is maybe one of my favorite comic book movies visually, just based on pure aesthetics. Like,
It's something special.
I enjoyed watching this film.
I mean, it is something like, if you like comic book movies, if you like mob gangster movies, if you like noir, if you like any of these aspects, like it's a wholehearted recommendation. Like, source the hell out of it.
Tommy guns and fedoras fucking everywhere. If you're into either of those two things, if you're a haberdasher or a gangster fan, like, you're in for a treat.
If William Forsythe in elaborate prosthetics, Tommy Guns eat lead, Tracy, into the side, like a brick wall, and leaves that message for the coppers, like, if that sounds good to you, watch this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Immediately.
If you like the idea of hand-painted backgrounds in a film that will elicit so much more emotion from you than digitally produced ones would, watch this movie.
They produce more emotion than CG, and they produce more emotion than Warren Beatty.
Yes, they do. God,
I love this fucking movie.
I did think for a second we were going to go in a weird, like, you might be a redneck situation. Like, well, if you like fedoras, then you might like Dick Tracy. And then we would just keep going down that rabbit hole, and I'm really glad we didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Thank you for indulging my birthday request to revisit one of my favorite childhood movies. And
this was great.
Movies.
I thought it was great.
Time rewatching it.
I'm terrified for March when I throw my favorite childhood movies at you.
Oh boy.
Yep, buckle up, bud. You're in for a ride.
How do you feel about Dick? Let us know at... I always... Source not found at Gmail.
Asking me, and I was trying to come up with a response that people wouldn't... Christ, man. Yeah, you can find us at sourcenotfoundpod@gmail.com. You can find us on all of the socials that we are sometimes on. I'm on Insta and Blue Sky more than Facebook because it's a cesspit. You can also find us on YouTube, where we have a full backlog of all of our audio episodes, as well as videos of Brandon playing the video games we've covered on the podcast via Twitch. Speaking of, Brandon, if they were to join you on Twitch, what would they be seeing right now?
It's hard to say. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Still working through some of those special event streams related to the charity that we're doing. But yeah, come on by and see what we're playing. Twitch.tv/LeJuneBug. Link down in the show notes, right next to a link to St. Coelacanth, architect, composer of our theme music and a lot of other music too.
Yeah,
and
prolific as usual. Shit.
Yeah, a lot of stuff released recently. Definitely check him out. Amazing musician.
And as always, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey back to the... Do we assume it's 1920s? Does it ever say a date? Cool.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've proven today we don't do numbers. I don't know.
No, we really don't. But I am going to say
the old timies.
The old times, yeah. Back in them days. Check your toilets for prune face.
And I'll stand by for a meeting of the Source Not Found Sorcerer Patrol, brought to you by the makers of Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, those two nourishing, tasty cereals that are shot from guns. Here's Dick Tracy Jr., your president now.
The meeting will now come to order, and we have a secret code message for you from Dick Tracy. Have you got your pencil and paper ready to take it down? Okay, here goes. It's 35, hot, butler, vampire.
I'm sorry.
I obscured you.
I'm sorry. You sound like the secretary from Monsters, Inc.
44, de-aged, dong, 24, hi, how are ya?
That's a real code message for you, Source Patrollers, from Dick Tracy Jr. And remember, stay eating that delicious Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, the only breakfast cereal shot from real guns down at the Quaker plant. And if you haven't any, ask Mother to buy some for you down at the grocer's.
Seriously, you sounded so much like the secretary for Monsters, Inc. It was killing me. Bye.
Bye.